Jacob, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks.
Good. I've got a number sequence there. Do you want to have a quick look at it and tell me what you notice?
Oh,
Feel free
well, it
to
looks to be
write on it as well at the same time.
okay. So this one goes up by 6.
Okay.
This one goes up by 8,
Yeah.
and this one goes up by 10.
Right. So have we got a linear or a quadratic number sequence?
Quadratic, I think,
So, right, what makes you think it's quadratic?
because the next term between these would be 2 and 2.
Oh, right.
So that makes it quadratic.
Oh, right. Let me just write something in now. I'll do it in a different colour. So that's called the second difference. And if the second difference is constant, it means it's a quadratic, doesn't it? Right, so if you've got a second difference of 2, what can you say is the first part of your nth term?
Would it be 2n?
That's a nice try. The fact that we've gone to a second difference means that it's an n squared number sequence.
Oh, right, okay.
So n squared. And what is the number that goes in front of it? What is the coefficient of n squared that is linked in with this second difference? Do you know what to do?
Um, would it just be 2n squared?
Well, that's a really good try. It's not quite right. What the rule is, you take half of it. So, would you like to fill in what the n squared term is?
Would it be 1n squared?
Brilliant, brilliant. So, do you think that's the final answer, though? Do you think that our number sequence, let's just highlight it, do we think our number sequence actually resembles the n squared number sequence, or do you think it needs adjusting?
I think it does mean that that's the actual sequence thing.
Sorry, you do think that that's the answer, n squared?
No, I don't.
Right, no you don't. Well, you're right to suggest that. So what we do now is this. We write out our number sequence again. So 2, 8, 16 and 26. And underneath it, we write down the n squared number sequence. Would you like to do that directly underneath those numbers? What is the n squared number sequence?
Okay.
And if you've forgotten,
So
they're
I'm
just
guessing it would start with 1.
the square numbers, that's right.
Okay. So, and then it would be 4.
That's correct.
And then 9.
Okay. But tell you, do me a favour, can I just take over a second? Let's just put
Yep.
that 9 directly underneath the 16. You'll see why in a second.
Okay.
So you carry on. That's it. And then the fourth square number. Brilliant. So this is what we do now. We actually treat it like a subtraction and we see how close the bottom number is to the top number. So would you like to perform those subtractions? I'll do the first one. Oh, go on, you carry on.
Okay.
Good.
And then it would be 7.
That's
and then
it.
it would be 10.
That's it. If you just write that in, the 10. Okay, so what we'll do now is let's look at this number sequence that we've got 1, 4, 7, 10. And is that sequence quadratic or is that now linear?
I think that's linear.
It is, yeah. So what's it going up by?
3.
3 every time. So are you able to write the nth term for that linear number sequence 1, 4, 7, 10? Do you want to write it just to the right of that yellow arrow?
Okay, so
So the rule is, as you say, plus 3. So what does that mean for the nth term? If it's going up in threes, what number do we put in front of the n?
Okay, so that would mean 3n.
That's it, write that down. And then, if you look at the very first number, does it start at 3?
No.
So you need to adjust it so it does start at 1 instead of 3.
3n plus 2?
We've just gone the wrong way. We need to go from 3, where we'd like it to start, back to where it does start, which is 1.
So that would be minus 2.
That's it. So now what we've got 2 parts. Can you see the 2 parts that we've got? They're the 2 parts. So the eventual answer, bring them all together. Would you like to write down the quadratic nth term, or we start with the quadratic part?
Would that be 4n squared?
Well, you can't add an n squared to an n. So let's just rub that out. You've got to keep the n squared separate to the n. Let me give you a little hand on this one. So I'll take the pen. It's 1n squared, which we just write as n squared, and then we just write that down as well. So it'd be plus 3n minus 2. So there's the answer. Okay, we'll perhaps have another go at one of those later. Okay?